to Monday's thought for the day. Actually, I'm aware that it's almost the afternoon, so good afternoon if you're listening to this in the afternoon on Monday for our thought for the day. As we continue this week, the series we started last week, looking at who we are in God. And I wanted to read to you from 1 Corinthians chapter 6, from verse 19, where Paul says, "Do you not know that your bodies are a temple for the Holy Spirit, who is in you, who you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honour God with your bodies." And it comes in this whole bit at the end of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, where Paul is talking about the way in which we live with our bodies, the way in which we use our bodies, about how we need to refrain from sexual immorality, particularly Paul's talking about here. But he says this wonderful line, your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. And that's the thought to focus on today, that my body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. Now, traditionally, as I say, this is what people used to think, that this was about how you treated your body in that sense. So if people ate too much to the point where they became seriously overweight, that's not just a body image thing, but it is mistreating your body, which is a temple of the Holy Spirit who lives in you. I used to, many years ago, smoke, and so this was a verse that often got quoted to me, that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. I used to reply that I was simply burning incense within that temple, but the point was still perfectly true, that I was damaging my body, which was a temple of the Holy Spirit, that God has given us these incredible bodies that we have, and yes, most of our bodies do not work perfectly. We have aches and niggles or pains. We're susceptible to illness, to disease, to aging. We don't live in a perfect world, therefore we don't have perfect bodies, but the bodies we have still work incredibly wonderfully, and even when we're not well, do amazing things in terms of keeping us alive in every second of every moment of every day. And particularly we think about protecting our bodies at the moment, don't we? We think about the coronavirus, we think about wearing a mask, we think about social distancing and so on, not just to protect others, but to protect ourselves, because we believe that our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and therefore we need to take care of it. We don't just say, oh, well, bring on the virus, let what happens happen, because part of caring for and maintaining this temple is making sure that we treat it well and keep it healthy. So the first thing to reflect upon is, what are you doing to maintain this temple in which the Holy Spirit lives within you, your body? Are you getting the right amount of exercise? Are you eating the right amount of food? Are you eating the right kinds of food? Are you getting the mental and psychological support that you need? Are you getting enough rest? Are you getting enough sleep? But there's also a challenge for us to think about, not just in terms of care for your bodies, but think about the power that therefore lives within us because of the Holy Spirit. Paul says in Romans chapter 8 that the same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives in you and brings life to your mortal body. So we think about, reflect upon the fact that the same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. That power that was at work in raising Christ from the dead lives in you, is available to you to help you to live for him today. Do you rely on that strength from the Holy Spirit, or do you try and go it alone in your own strength? Do you rely upon the leading and guiding of the Holy Spirit? Or do you look at your own eyes? Do you rely upon that life-bringing power of the Holy Spirit to bring, even in the dead places of your life, life in all its fullness to you? What would it look like for you today to rely upon the power of the Holy Spirit? And what would it look like for Christ to raise you and bring life into you today? Some things to think about, because we believe in the truth that our body is a temple for the Holy Spirit. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow, but in the meantime, stay safe and God bless you.